everyone, and welcome to Kindness Matters. My name is Peyton Davis. I'm the Communications Specialist at Cat Depot.
And I'm Andy Antonic, and I'm the Development Specialist at Cat Depot.
Cat Depot is your resource for rescue, adoption, and education. Kindness Matters is a show that explores animal kindness through humane education and meets some of our animal welfare experts in our community. For more resources on how you too can make kindness matter, visit our website at catdepot.org. In this episode, our executive director, Jennifer, is going to meet with James Buchanan, a Florida representative, and they are going to discuss one of the bills he's working on regarding telehealth for pets. This episode will also feature Friends Like Me cats, like Draco and Kato, our Meow Mare. The goal of Friends Like Me is to provide emergency medical care for our chronically ill and sick cats and kittens in our care. If you are interested in donating to Cats Like Kato, check us out online at catdepot.org under special campaigns. These Friends Like Me cats need friends like you.
morning, Representative Buchanan. How are you today?
I'm great. It's great to be with you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for joining us. We appreciate it. So this is our first segment of Kindness Matters since March of this year, and we are so thrilled to have Representative James Buchanan with us this morning. So Representative, how about you tell us just a little bit about yourself?
Well, so I'm originally from Michigan. We came here when I was a kid to Florida, and I hear you're more recently new to Sarasota. But we moved down when I was a kid, so I don't remember a whole lot about Michigan. I ended up going to Florida State University, and then got a graduate degree from USF, and I started my own real estate company.
Oh, okay, didn't know that.
And when my dad ran, actually in 2005, I worked on his campaign, and so I was always kind of thrilled with and excited to see how the process worked, and to work towards something that you really believe in. It's always been something that I've enjoyed. Working with people is something I've always loved, and for those of you that don't know, I also have a wife. We have 2 kids here in town, and we just found out we're expecting another little one. So
that's so exciting.
We're very excited.
2 and 4, right?
2 and 4, 2 little girls. Yeah.
Goodness gracious. We know Representative is busy, right?
That we are.
And expecting in December, correct?
December, that is correct.
Congratulations.
Oh,
to
thank you.
That's wonderful. Wonderful. Well, let's talk a little bit about the legislation that you worked on this year, House Bill 911.
Yeah, so this is a bill that we worked on very hard, and just to give you a little bit of background for those that aren't aware, so the governor, during the pandemic this year, had this executive order that authorized telehealth for pets. And that was something I followed very closely. And then before this past session, I was actually approached by the great folks at ASPCA, and said they had a great policy bill that they wanted someone to help them champion. And I don't know if you were aware of this, but I also chair the Environment, Agriculture, and Flooding Subcommittee. So that's also an area of passion for me. But when they brought me this bill that would codify what the governor had put into that executive order, basically what the bill does is it opens up and creates a framework for telehealth for pets, much like we did 3 years ago, which proved instrumental during this last pandemic with telehealth for humans. And so that was one big aspect of the bill. And then so we had another aspect that ASPCA was very excited about as well. And that would allow some of our animal controlled shelters. So this is the government run type shelters. A lot of them are short staffed, especially as it relates to veterinarians.
Yes.
And so it would allow trained staff under the indirect supervision of a veterinarian to provide the rabies vaccination.
Right.
So it would allow these pets to come back home faster. If, for instance, let's say they didn't have a collar on, they didn't have a microchip. Sometimes these pets would wait for weeks to go back home because they need a rabies shot that would be administered by a vet. So the bill does a number of different things, and I was very excited and thrilled to see the kind of support that we received in getting it through the House. These big policy bills a lot of times can take some time, and it doesn't always happen the first time around. But I was very proud of this legislation, and I was proud to have the support of, as I mentioned, ASPCA, and a lot of other folks that even reached out to us from the community. There was a number of radio stations we heard that spoke very highly of the bill, and
was that local here in the Sarasota area, Representative?
Yeah, actually, I believe it was a Christian radio station that I had heard it on, and actually, it was my mother that heard it and brought it to my attention. But I was glad to see we got some local support for it, and some very broad support for it, because you look at, for me, I think it's very important when there is an issue with a pet, that it gets dealt with in a timely manner. And access is very important for folks. Driving down the cost for health care for pets is very important. So this is something that would improve access. And then the other thing that I noticed, at least, I don't know about your pets, but I had 2 dogs that we spoke about earlier, Jezebel and Max. They would get the most incredible anxiety, in going to the vet.
Exactly.
My dog Jezebel, she wouldn't even let me get her out of the car. You have to kind of bear hug them out, and then they're fighting you, the whole way because they didn't want to go in. So I was thrilled that we were able to get it through the house this session, and thrilled to have the support that we had.
Well, we appreciate it so very much. It's interesting that you mentioned the stress level in pets too, because it's difficult for any animal, but it's especially stressful for cats. And so being here at Cat
Yes.
Depot, it's definitely something that this legislation is something that we'll continue to support. So what do you think this looks like for next year? Will it be something that you think will come back around, and maybe we'll get to introduce it and try to get it across the finish line?
Look, yeah. So I want to see this. Obviously, I'm a big believer in what we're trying to get done policy-wise. As I mentioned, this is a big lift. This is creating a framework of which does not exist for telehealth for pets in the state of Florida. And so I think it was an important bill. It's something I'm going to work with my Senate counterpart, and we're going to try and get it done this coming year.
Wonderful. Representative, what can we do? What can the community do to help you? How can we get involved and make sure that this passes in the next legislative session?
So we'll begin actually committee weeks in September of this year, at which time it'll be around that time frame where bills will begin to get filed. When this bill gets filed, I think the best thing folks can do is reach out to your state reps and the other state representatives via email or call their office and let them know that this is something important to you. And I think that's typically the best way to make
Get
folks
it on their radar.
aware, especially on the Senate side, since we passed it out of the House, and I think we can pass it out of the House again. So it's not just your state representative, but it's also your state senator. So that's very important. And the other thing I want to mention, this was a very bipartisan piece of legislation. This was a bill that just about everyone can support. And so I was proud to see that. And one thing that's interesting, if you look at all the bills that we worked on this year, I think it was 272 bills that passed out of both the Senate and the House this year. 80% were bipartisan in nature, and this was one of them. And so I was thrilled to have the opportunity, and I was thrilled that the great folks at ASPCA brought this language to me, and were tremendous advocates for it.
Well, I am sure that they will be knocking on your door again come next legislative session.
I would hope so. And
make sure we make
we'll
that
be
connection.
thrilled to continue to work with them on this and some of the other issues that are important to our communities and to our pets, some of our best friends.
Pets and their people.
That's right, pets and their people.
We talked about your dogs. I'm a foster fail, so when I first started with the Humane Society, I took a little kitty cat to the vet, and he never went back.
Well, that's how it works.
That's how it works. So pets and their people, that's for sure. Representative, thank you so much for being with me this morning. Is there anything else that you'd like to add about this legislation, or anything else that's important to you?
Well, I want to thank you again for the opportunity to be with you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited for our tour later today.
We're going to go take a tour of Cat Depot. We sure are.
I was thrilled to have this opportunity to talk about this important piece of legislation. As I mentioned, we're now in the 21st century. I think it's important that we're forward-looking as it relates to policy moving forward into the future. And this is a bill that we can continue to build on as soon as we get the framework in place. And this is the first step for telehealth for pets. And so I was thrilled to carry the bill and thrilled for the opportunity to be with you here today. So thank you.
Absolutely, thank you. We appreciate your time this morning. So thank you so much, Representative Buchanan.
Thank you for tuning in to our 14th episode of Kindness Matters. For more information on how you too can make kindness matter, as well as how you can help the Friends Like Me cats, visit on our website at catdepot.org. Coming up, we have our second annual Feline Fun Run. Whether it's a quick run around the house at 3 a.m. or a laid-back walk on the lanai, many of our feline friends seem inclined to get up and stroll. Just like them, we all need exercise. Join us virtually by participating in our 5K or the 1 mile fun run. Registration is open now through midnight on October 31st, 2021, and is $35 per registrant. For registration and more information about our contests and prizes, please visit us on our website at catdepot.org. Also on our website is our wish list. Cat Depot has wish lists through both Chewy and Amazon, and our shelter is in critical need of supplies that help our animals and our community. Please consider donating to our Amazon and Chewy wish list today. You can help homeless pets with just a few clicks on your computer. Thank you again for tuning into this episode of Kindness Matters.